And we're live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Formers Friday. Of course, I am your host, Dirt, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Titans Return Galvatron figure. Now, I know some of you who follow the show are thinking, wait a minute, you guys already talked about the Titans Return Galvatron figure. And as a matter of fact, The Geek covered this back in October, and there's a link for it in the description on YouTube. But I wanted to talk about this figure today for actually a very important reason, and that is that, well, I mean, I have one and it wasn't opened, and so, yeah, that's the reason. So anyway, guys, come on with me. Let's head back over and take a look inside the photo tent at our Titans Return Galvatron. And this one actually comes with Nucleon, who basically looks like Megatron. So anyway, Galvatron has had so many different incarnations over the years since he first appeared. To me, he's always the guy from the movie. He's Megatron upgraded into this new figure form. Although the funny thing is, the Nucleon minifigure looks like Megatron, but we'll cover that in a minute. It's a Titans Return figure, so it's the standard box that you've come to expect. It's a triple changer, so you can see the three forms up there in the corner. We've got our window. We've got artwork on one side. We've got absolutely nothing of importance on the other side. And on the back, of course, talking about other figures that are available and then showing his different modes and his minifigure. So you can see that he is the Galvatron robot with the giant cannon on his arm. He turns into the giant cannon that we expect, but then also turns into the spaceship thing with a giant orange Cheeto wing on the front. I don't know what that is. So anyway, we are going to take this bad boy out, and we're going to open him up. So I've got my tools here, with, if I can get to it. Come on. There we go. Cut the tape. Open the box. Slide him out. Instructions, which I'll probably need. There's your instructions. Woo! Yay! All right. Take him out of the box. Get rid of that. Now, we are going to cut him out of his prison. First up, we have the gun, which is a nice big cannon with a glowy orange bit on the front there. And then we have our main man. Here. Is that it? Nope. Up here. Oh my gosh, come on. Are we really that worried about it getting loose in the box? Is it really that big of a deal? All right. Oh, and I see a plastic band up here, and it's like double tied on. That's kind of annoying, actually. Ugh, and it doesn't want to come off at all. It goes kind of deep under there. Can I not get this rubber band off? No, the rubber band must stay for the entire life of the figure. I've just voided the warranty. All right. That little piece is on top of his head. That seems kind of weird, but all right. Regardless, let us now jump back to the photo tent, and we can see Galvatron here. The future version of Megatron, he will always be to me, inside his little spot. All right. Now, the gun, there's no place to attach it on the side where it should go, so I guess it goes here in that hole. Put it in front. Can you twist his arm? No, not really. Oh, this piece is in the way. This tank tread thing is in the way, so you can't twist it. So it cannot go to the side like it really should, like it's supposed to. That's how they did it in the cartoon. That's how it's supposed to be. And we do have this weird, this thing goes on his head here. Snaps down over his head, which, I don't know. I think I'd probably fold it down like that and just get it out of the way, because I don't think I'd want it sticking on top of his head. Actually, where'd the box? Well, here, let me look at the instructions here. Do they show it as being... All right, see, so I'm looking through the instructions. When you transform into the robot, it doesn't show how to turn them. Okay, so then let's do the backwards. All right, so it shows. Okay, in the instructions, it actually shows it as being like that. That's the official way that it's supposed to sit back there. So, I mean, I guess that's all right, but I like it better done like this. So that's how I'm going to do it. So, nonetheless, all right. So let's take a look at Galvatron here, and what do we think of the figure? Well, again, I like his big, bulky look. You know, you guys know me. I like my Transformers to look like linebackers, and he certainly does. Although, I'm guessing that the hand, you know, folds in there, so you have that big hollow spot right there. But having it so noticeable right there in his robot form is a little off-putting. But for the most part, looking around this whole guy, I mean, he looks pretty solid. This is a little wonky, having this like cockpit thing back here with this dinosaur foot, whatever this is here. But overall, I have to say in his robot form, it looks pretty good. There are obviously some hollow areas that are just being covered up by part of this shell, you know, the transformation, but it makes for an overall look that looks fairly solid, fairly big and bulky. And I like that. He's a big chunk of man. Look at him. That's all right. That is all right. But yeah, this cannon thing does throw me off. I really do wish there was some way to twist it off to the side. Although, because of the peg, can you put it in his hand? You can put it in his hand. Pew, pew, pew. It's probably not the best idea. So anyway, there is that. Does he perfectly represent, you know, the way he looked in the cartoon, the way I remember him? No, of course not. But he looks good. He does look good. I mean, overall, from top to bottom, I'm going to move this down a little bit so you can see the feet have that shiny metallic gleam to them. You know, overall, I think he looks good. I like the look of this guy. That is in robot mode. I don't know how I'm going to think about the other modes yet, but in robot mode, that is an awesome way to display him. I'm fine with that sitting on my shelf. All right, so now let's take these instructions, see if I can figure out what I'm going to be doing here in order to turn him into the cannon. So the cannon is the first thing they want you to morph him into, is in the instructions. So he goes to cannon first, and then the cannon turns into the spaceship, but there's no spaceship back to robot. So you want to put him back in robot, you kind of have to work your way back through all of that. But, whoa, gosh, did it again. Keep knocking over that camera over there. All right, let us take a look at this guy here, and we're going to open his chest, and we're going to fold his face grill down and cover it back up and pop the head out. I always feel, ooh, actually that one's pretty good. Pulling him out. I always feel a little weird pulling him out because I'm afraid I'm going to rip the head off like I did on my Optimus Prime, but that one came out pretty easy. And he is a tiny little fella. Now, you can see the details a lot better in the box art. I'm going to see if we can get any sort of zoom on him, get him in focus. You can see it looks like Megatron. He's got Megatron's head. Now, it's got this extra little piece on it, and that's so... Whoop, out of focus. Come on, focus. That is so, you know, it'll fit. It'll clamp down in that headmaster spot. But really, his body here looks like classic G1 Megatron, just missing his big gun. So the fact that that head looks like it, I like a lot, especially considering I consider Galvatron to be an upgraded Megatron and not, you know, what do they call him, like Galvanus Prime or something, his ancient Cybertronian version. So that's nifty. I'm like that. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm fine. All right, back to here. We're going to take the gun off. We're going to fold those hands in. Maybe, if they'll, there they go. And then we fold this up like this, it looks like. Is there a spot where they tab? Ah, they tab in. Okay. So these tab up. Now that they're in place, we turn him around and we move these things up. I guess it's those things. All right. Those are now up. Take the feet and twist them. Do we twist these all the way around? Looks like it. Okay. And then we're going to lift this part up, pull this part down, twist the whole top. This feels like a Rubik's Cube. The way I'm flipping this around every which way. We have to move the arms a little bit so we can twist it. So twist it back that way. And now it's supposed to move a crotch piece. What am I doing here? I'm going back to here? I'm going, no, wait, I'm here. Man. These, all right, okay, this way. This. And then these, what? What? Okay, look. Try to get this. Oh, the camera's stuck. Camera is caught on something. These arrows. What is flipping? How are they flipping? They're both flipping to the side and forward? I don't, like, what? This is the one thing this is what drives me nuts with a lot of these figures. Like, maybe it makes sense if you do 1,000 of these a day and you're sitting in a toy factory somewhere. But I don't see these flip all the way around like this. No? These. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. The tank treads. I don't even know. All right, we're just going to move on and see if we can make sense of something later on. All right, so we're going to move these like this, I think. These should be opposite. Does that look right? That looks kind of like the picture. Okay. And then this tank tread thing comes down like this. Was it already facing the right way? Oh my gosh. All right. So now our tank treads are down. So we hold him this way. And we take our feet and we fold these panels out, fold the feet in, shorten. Do we flip the legs on the inside? I don't know if Hasbro has like a YouTube channel or, Takara, whoever, where they just show people doing it like the right way. Like, hey, if you want to transform this is how to not look like an idiot when you transform it. I should subscribe to that channel. I know there's probably a lot of guys out there who do videos. I should probably pay a little more attention to them doing some of these transformations, especially since now that I'm doing them live, I want to look less like an idiot when I do them. All right, these panels are still out. Are these supposed to snap back into place when the feet go in? The feet go in, the legs go in. These don't close. These just stay out. Okay. And this just magically snaps together and everything's all right in the world. Supposedly. That's the prevailing theory. And it kind of works a little bit, maybe. I guess that's right. Okay. All right. Man, these tabs keep popping back out. Okay. So now that I've got this monstrosity more or less together, it says to fold this underneath. Oh, does this tab into something down here? This tabs in somehow into this little piece, like that, more or less. Okay. Now we take this and we twist. What do we twist? We twist. You twist nothing. You twist. I don't even see what we're supposed to. Okay, wait. This. Okay. See, they have two pieces moving at once in the instructions. You got to fold this down first, then fold that down. That's how that works. Now it makes sense. Okay. And then we take this and we attach it to the front here. Just poking around. Oh, down there. Okay. And then this closes back up. And then we have our cannon. Okay. All right. Wonderful. And it only took 14 and a half minutes for me to figure out how to do it. All right. Now, I have the bottom part done incorrectly. You can see it's not sitting down at all the way it should. So let us mess with that a little bit. See if we can make it make more sense. Does that make more sense? Nope. That doesn't work. Okay, so somehow all of this is supposed to fold under in a way that makes the legs touch the ground, and it's not. So obviously I've done something wrong somewhere in piecing this together because that does not want to lay flat. So I'm going to grab... No, I'm not going to grab the box because it's on the other side of the room. It shows... The instructions are showing, okay, let's come back. Gosh, man, this is rougher than I think it should be. These look like they're down lower somehow. Like somehow this leg piece needs to be rearranged in some way. Does this rotate? I can see there's a joint. There's a small joint in there that makes that rotate around. But does this piece that's in, does this also rotate? Does this move in some fashion? One way or another? This is probably the thing that I couldn't figure out before. Making them move. Ha, 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 ha. Okay. So indeed, they do. So this piece right here on the leg thing slides down. This is the thing I couldn't figure out in the instructions a while ago. In order to lengthen the legs to cover up this huge thing. So, all right. Back to the tent. And here is our guy, more or less. And I've already kind of messed it up trying to get it working. This is one of those where a lot of stuff tabs together, but it just doesn't want to stay because there are so many pieces that are all kind of interconnected and fighting against each other in order to build the tension. We have our giant cannon, and it looks all right. This is wrong. You know, this cockpit piece down here just doesn't fit. Everything else actually looks pretty good except for this piece. It just really doesn't seem to have any reason for being down there other than, of course, you know, it's kibble. It's just there because you need it in another mode, but there really doesn't seem to be anything else that you can do with it. And I'm still not 100% sure if these black panels back here are supposed to be out like this. I don't see anywhere else for them to go. I don't see anything in the instructions, but sure enough, there they are. I've noticed that the cockpit, of course, since it's upside down, your little headmaster Nucleon guy, he doesn't have a place to go there. Back here, though, they have these little foot pegs where, I mean, you can take the guy and stick him on there. Oh, yay. That works, I guess. But it's so awkward looking. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense that he'd be, just hanging out on the back of the cannon like this, as opposed to, sitting up here where it looks like he's the gunner on it, or if there was a, way to slide him in there so he's like inside it, using it. I really don't see any other spot on here where he's supposed to go, except for right there on those little pegs. It's kind of a shame, really, because if they had just put like maybe 2 tiny little pegs here so you could stick them on, then that'd be fine. I think that would, he's the gunner holding the controls for the cannon, making it fire. That would make sense. But unfortunately, that's not what we have. So overall in the cannon form, it's okay. It's not the best. It certainly needs, clearer instructions. I mean, that's obvious. I'm a genius. So really it's their fault for having bad instructions. But nonetheless, they need a much better spot for this guy. This is just weird. This is weird, having this big thing sticking down for no reason. And it makes it really kind of too tall. You really, in order to make it, sit, he's firing way up in the sky, which I guess is fine if you're thinking about, sitting on a planet shooting up into space with a cannon, but not really like against the guys who are coming at you across the field. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, we're talking about toys here. Let's not get too crazy, but at the same time, when I play with these things, you gotta think about stuff like that when you're playing with them. So the cannon form, not great, but it's okay. It's the cannon form, that we know from the cartoon. It's the preferred, I've seen versions of Galvatron that were like helicopters or something, and just, no. So having it this way looks more or less better than at least that. All right. Now, we are going to transform him again. So we'll open this up, and first thing we do, pop off the cannon and put this up. And it looks like we twist something and flip something and flip something else. Okay, well, these go like this. Okay, that's pretty easy. This is going to come back. So this flips up. What? Wait. Oh, or it just goes like this. Okay. All right. So it adds on to the fin that's already there. Why is this piece even... Anyway. Cockpit. We do have a cockpit here that we can open up. So that is, of course, to put Megatron in. And we'll drop him down there so that he can fly. Now we take the tank treads. I'm guessing we flip the whole unit up. So the piece that I didn't know moved before, that's the piece that you move to bring it up like this. And now we flip something back. We flip the leg part back down, minus those treads. And now we do what? Wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense at all. Are the treads supposed to be short like this? Then what's that other move? Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that's how it's eventually supposed to end up. So fine. We'll leave it like that. Snap apart the legs. And do what with them now? Fold them out like this. And there's some sort of snap happening that's supposed to happen Oh, we pull them out all the way out and snap them up. Ah, I see. There's a little hole down in here and a little peg on there. So those go together. Okay. So now he's in a yoga pose, and it says to do some. Okay, that was that. All right. I'm grabbing this. We're going back to the original configuration of this cannon, and it's attaching to the bottom down here. Okay. All right. Oh, and then we have a little piece of landing gear, it looks like. All right. And so there is a spaceship. Let's take a closer look. All right, we're going to slide this back a little bit and get more of it in our field of view. It is a little funky, though. Having the landing gear brings the tank treads off the ground. They don't seem to fit anymore with that piece up. So if I fold it back, that's better, but still not perfect. I mean, you can see that the tank treads are barely even touching the ground. Can I like push these more into position? Not really. So they're just kind of stuck in the air. I guess, though the idea is that it's a spaceship, it flies. It doesn't really need that. That's just kind of for, landing purposes. You don't really need it. So let's take a look overall at this ship. I guess it looks fine, head on. I mean, head on, it looks like you've got this giant cannon. This part makes sense. Now this piece finally has purpose. You got a couple guns there, whatever. So as far as the look of the ship head on looks pretty good. Sideways, though, you can see these tank treads just aren't touching the ground, so it looks a little funky that way. From the back, though, this is a mess. I mean, I don't even know what this is. This is not. Where are the engines? Where are the exhaust ports? Like all of that stuff that you want in your toy when you're 40 years old talking about a toy. That's the good stuff you look for. And so you're going to pick it up and whoosh it. You can pick it up. This is what you do. You go whoosh. So as far as that goes, again, it's a little funky, just like the cannon mode. It seems like it's a jack of all trades, master of none. I think the robot mode is really the best look for it. The other looks for it are not that great here. I'm wondering, though, this piece that folds down, if that could make this a gun that other Titan Masters or Combiner Wars figures could use. Some of the big ones like Cyclonus, or maybe not Cyclonus, maybe Optimus Prime, the Ultra Magnus, maybe some of those that have the movable hand. They could use that to hold on to it. And also, it looks, this hollowed out area has a lot of extra little detailed bits to it that make it seem like there's something more going on there. I don't know if maybe this, can he fit down in here? Can he sit in there? Kind of. If I move his arms out and then fold his legs, does he fit in there? Maybe. Maybe not. I was kind of hoping like maybe that would be an extra thing, like he could sit on and he'd be flying through space, but I guess not as far as that goes. I don't know. I'd have to play with that a little bit more and mess around with it. Maybe I can get it to work. But so overall, yeah, I think if I'm when I put this on my shelf to display it, it'll be in robot mode, and it'll probably stay in robot mode. That's been a deal with a lot of these Titan Titans Returns. Astro Train, I think looks good. Just Astro Train and the orange version. Can't think of his name. Those two in the spaceship mode, I think I can display them in either one of those. I hate the train mode. So robot mode or spaceship mode is fine. Alpha Trion is in robot mode. Galvatron, he will also be in robot mode. He's not going to stay in one of these alt modes. These just don't. I mean, again, it's okay, but it's not as good. Like Combiner Wars, I felt had much better transformations, but they all fit. They had a formula for them in order to make them fit in, so they could be arms or legs, whatever. I think that those limitations that they put actually made things look better because they had to conform. They knew how it was going to start, how it was going to end. Now that they have a little more free reign on these things, I don't think they work out as well. And that's kind of weird. That's kind of the opposite of what you expect on a lot of this stuff. I don't know. Just happens to be the way it is. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to go to popculturenetwork.com. Check out some more toy reviews, comic reviews, podcasts, some of that great stuff that we throw up on there. Throw up. I just said throw up. And that's going to do it for the live stream today. Thanks for watching, though, and I'll see you guys next week.